wasn't.
Tomorrow on Newsday, you will meet the first woman to make police chief in a major city. For 18 months, Penny Harrington headed the Portland, Oregon Police Department until what she said was a combination of politics and alleged sexism ran her out of a job. Some people say she was just incompetent. We're going to hear from her tomorrow on Newsday.
And now we'll turn things over to our Equal Opportunity News team, Pat Miles and Don Shelby, with the 5 p.m. report.
Among the items coming up on today's edition of the 5 p.m. report, federal agents continue their investigation into porn merchant Ferris Alexander. Today, they seize bank records.
The local push for a statue honoring women Vietnam veterans makes progress on Capitol Hill in Washington.
And we better dust off the fishing techniques just in time for a quick refresher course for this weekend's walleye opener. I'm Don Shelby.
And I'm Pat Miles. The 5 p.m. report is coming up next.
Time for a shower. For my lawn, I'm Jerry Baker. Dish soap is the secret ingredient I use to spray on my lawn. Gets my grass ready to fertilize. And here's another tip, Super K-Grow from Kmart. I say you can't buy a better fertilizer, and at this price, it's even better. You can turn brown into green by letting your lawn wash up before dinner.
Super K-Grow, only at Kmart.
But listeners have a choice in the morning.
Not everyone listens to WLTE to start the day.
Yeah, some people. Just like a dose of wacky guys first thing.
Even I sometimes tune around for news or talk, but then I spend the day with WLTE.
That's okay. WLTE is perfect to listen to all day long.
Wherever you are.
It's because we have great light songs to sing along with.
Our main message, no matter how you start the day, spend the day with the Light FM, 103 WLTE.
Can't get enough of that bacon. You know my heart is aching. Cause there's sailing the bacon in the whole wide world. Can't get enough of that bacon. I want a Whopper with bacon. Ooh, yeah, I'm a man who loves bacon. Please give me that bacon, girl.
Now get a flamethrower Whopper with bacon for $1.99.
We do it like you do it when we do it like we do it at Burger King. Whopper with bacon.
How physical education has changed, tonight on the 10 p.m. report.
Minnesota's walleye fishing season opens this weekend. To get an early start on things, we've got some tips on where to go, what to do to make sure this year's opener brings you a stringer full of walleyes like that. The story is next.
WCCO Television presents Don Shelby, Pat Miles, and Bud Crayley. This is the 5 p.m. report.
Afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Another round of government raids today on Twin Cities porn merchant Ferris Alexander.
This time, federal agents searched 20 of Alexander's safe deposit boxes in the Twin Cities and Duluth. The operation resulted from information obtained in yesterday's strike against 23 adult entertainment businesses, including some in outstate areas. Authorities say Alexander owns most of those stores. They're trying to build a two-pronged case against him, centering on transportation of obscene materials and tax evasion. So far, though, no charges have been filed, no arrests made. The businesses remain open. Just a year ago, Minneapolis officials broke ground for the city's new $200 million convention center. Today, city council members took a tour of the 25-acre construction site and got a status report on how that project is coming along. Developers say overall construction is behind by about 2 weeks, due primarily to problems with the structural steel. But they add that as far as money goes, they are nearly $5 million in the black. Officials say a critical moment will come next month when the 250-ton dome, the first of 3, is finally jacked into place 45 feet above the surface.
The latest round of primaries in Campaign 88 have scored clear victories for both frontrunners. Democrat Michael Dukakis took 62% to Jesse Jackson's 27% in Nebraska yesterday. While in West Virginia, Dukakis ran away with 79% of the vote to 14% for Jackson. On the Republican side, Vice President George Bush won West Virginia with 89%. In Nebraska, he took 71% of the vote to 23% for dropout candidate Senator Bob Dole of neighboring Kansas. These two primary wins give Dukakis 3/4 of the delegates he needs to lay claim to the party's nomination. Jesse Jackson said today, however, he is not giving up, that he's looking forward to the Oregon contest next week and that he will take his campaign all the way to the end. Meanwhile, President Reagan is expected to officially endorse George Bush tonight at a Republican party in Washington. One-time opponent Pat Robertson acknowledged the obvious today and also endorsed Bush, saying he will officially end his own campaign on Monday. The U.S. Senate committee today overwhelmingly approved a bill authorizing a new statue at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial to honor women who served in the Vietnam War. The Minneapolis-based Vietnam Women's Memorial Project proposed the statue to honor the 10,000 women who served in the Vietnamese War. The bill will now go to the full Senate. Opponents have said that the women's statue at the Vietnam Memorial in Washington would create a sculpture garden for special interest groups. About 300 students on tour at the state capitol today got a special treat. The state of Minnesota has been an official member of the United States now for exactly 130 years as of today. In honor of the recognition of our statehood on this day back in 1858, the chandelier of the Capitol was illuminated to the delight of the 300 students there on tour.
The environmental protection group Greenpeace continued its campaign to stop whaling in Iceland with a demonstration at the Burger King restaurant in Minneapolis today. Greenpeace is asking Burger King to join its boycott of Icelandic fish until Iceland stops whaling. Greenpeace chose Burger King for its 20-city protest because the fast food chain buys much of its fish from an Iceland company, which is a major supporter of whaling. Now, today's edition of Healthline takes a look at smokeless tobacco, allergies, plus some findings on a new virus.
Here's our health and science reporter, Tony Vigneri, with the details of all of those stories.
Down to Pat, California researchers have isolated a virus which causes liver disease. It could mean a big step towards developing a vaccine for hepatitis non-A and non-B. Hepatitis is the most frequent infectious contaminant in donor blood. Now, with this finding, doctors believe they could develop a test which could screen donated blood and greatly reduce the risk of contamination. Each year, 100,000 people are exposed to hepatitis after a blood transfusion. Hepatitis B, which can also cause liver disease, has been screened by blood banks for years, but until now, no one has been able to isolate or study the virus which causes hepatitis non-A and non-B. Well, today there are an estimated 12 million users of smokeless tobacco in the country. Many young athletes are drawn to it because they see Major League ball players chewing tobacco and think it's a safe alternative to smoking. But a recent survey in the major leagues on smokeless tobacco use has found that many ball players who chew tobacco have gum problems. 7 major league teams were surveyed. Doctors found that 38% of the users said they have noticed mouth sores and white patches in their mouths. Many of the players reported that they were hooked and wanted help to kick the habit. Now, not one player questioned said chewing tobacco helped his game. Well, it's spring cleaning time around the house, and if you've been doing that and have noticed you're sneezing and becoming congested, you may be allergic to the house dust mite. House dust mites are too small to be seen with the eye, but under a microscope they look like this. Their diet consists of human dander and food particles. The mite thrives on high humidity, and during spring house cleaning, the decaying parts are thrown into the air, causing allergic reactions. Keeping your home well ventilated and with low humidity will help control house dust mites. And one final story here. Researchers at Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas have found that not all saturated fats actually raise cholesterol levels in the blood. They examined cocoa butter and they found that this could offer a wider choice of foods such as margarine and shortening with different types of stearic acids in it.
Okay, Tony. Thank you.
Ugly little critters, aren't they? Now stay with us as the Wednesday 5 continues. We're going to take a look at this weekend's fishing opener, and we'll also check in with Tom Hanneman and the Twins over at the Metrodome. Sports is up next.
Luxury in the fast lane. Your Jeep Eagle dealers bring you Eagle Premier with one of the most powerful engines in its class, an optional multi-port fuel-injected overhead cam V6 with a drag coefficient lower than any sedan built in North America. And right now, with special financing to keep payments this low, or take advantage of this special bonus. Eagle Premier, world-class technology that's easy to get into.
See your Great Northern Jeep Eagle dealers, where you can expect the best.
Good morning.
Day's looking new and bright.
It's Monday again.
And you're gonna start it right.
Traffic's tied up.
'Cause there's Folgers for you that's decaffeinated too. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Mornings brighten with mountain-grown Folgers decaffeinated. Mountain-grown coffee beans have a more enticing aroma.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your car.
Decaffeinated.
Menards is rolling out the savings on National Turf during our Spruce Up sale. We have acres of turf on sale now, like the Crown Court with 5-year wear warranty. Now just $5.97 a square yard. Seal your deck and save with DAP Deck Light. It protects against splitting, warping, and shrinking. Just $7.88 per gallon. And you can register free to win a Coleman Sequoia camping trailer during Menards Spruce Up sale.
We're helping you build America's heartland at Menards.
WCCO Travel does it again. A complete Washington, D.C. vacation for only $299. Children 17 and under, only $189. This WCCO Travel ITA exclusive includes non-stop round-trip airfare, 3 nights at the world-famous Mayflower Hotel, and a tourmobile pass for sightseeing in our nation's capital. Longer stays available. Departures begin June 6th through September 9th, Mondays and Fridays. Call WCCO Travel at 921-3559.
Tom Hanneman and one of our friends from the Twins team standing by at the Dome.
That's right, here with Steve Lombardozzi, no stranger to anyone, although he's been a stranger at the plate until last month. First at bat since April 22nd, the Tommy Herd deal. And any butterflies? It's been a while since you've been at the plate.
No, it's been so long. I just went up there. I took a couple practice swings on the on-deck circle and went up there and hacked away, and I got lucky.
Got lucky indeed, a double that came close to flying out of the park, and I guess the story really is the ovation you got from the fans afterwards.
It was really something special. I think it's something that I'll always remember, and probably one of the highlights of my career as a Twin. And the fans have been fantastic, though. Since this has happened, I get mail every day from people, and they've been hanging banners in the stadium, and my wife and I, Jill and I, have been treated exceptionally well around town, and everyone's very supportive of us right now. So we really appreciate that.
You worry that when you aren't playing now and haven't been for a stretch, you begin to doubt yourself, your abilities, because you're not out there doing it.
Well, it's tough. I'm used to playing every day, and that's one thing I don't do is doubt my abilities. That's what has gotten me this far. I'm not a player that's blessed with a lot of natural ability, and hard work has got me here. So I do have that one ingredient. I have confidence in myself, and it's just a matter of keeping myself prepared for when my opportunity comes.
And it's a tough thing, the mental attitude. You want to stay up and ready, but you're waiting for a trade really to be dealt to another team.
It is. I've never been in a situation like this before. But I know that these type of things happen in this lifestyle, and you have to look ahead, and hopefully I'll be able to look back, a year from now and see that things worked out for the best for me.
We all hope they will. Steve, thanks so much.
Right.
Back to you, Don and Pat.
All right, Tom. Nice to see you again. All right, now we're going to switch over to R.J. Fritz standing by in the interview section, and we can't wait to find out where the good lakes are for walleye.
Right, Don, and of course Steve Lombardozzi had a long wait, so have fishermen, like 2.5 million or thereabouts. The commissioner of the DNR, Joe Alexander, is with us, and this is the guy we always like to have come in at this time of the year, because wherever Joe is fishing, that's where everybody's going to go, right, Joe?
Yes.
Where are you heading this weekend?
Well, I'll be with the governor's party up at Detroit Lakes. Not necessarily there the rest of the season, but it's a good spot.
Not necessarily the hot spot, but it is a good spot up there.
It's a good spot, yes.
I have to imagine that there's a lot more pressure put on you with all the scientific gizmos that are coming up as far as conservation is concerned as a DNR commissioner.
We're very concerned. There are a lot of electronic gadgets, or a lot of gadgets to catch fish, to take fish, large motors, boats. We like for people to remember, though, that this is a fun sport. And going out and dunking a worm with a cane pole is still fun, and we like for people to have fun. You don't have to have $15,000 worth of equipment to have fun.
Well, I know one thing. You're doing a good job of conservation up in Mille Lacs. The people up there, their attitudes really have turned around a lot. I know I just got back in from there this afternoon, and they're saying that what you've done up there as far as cutting out the night fishing, no spearing, and those types of things. They have a class of 84, what they call the class of 84 hatch, they say has grown now to about 1.5 pounds, and they look for some good fishing up there.
It will be good, and that class is a good class, and as we were joking about a little before, whatever you do, don't weigh those. They can be 3 pounds if you don't weigh them, and they're nice fish. The experiment has worked.
Now this is what they call the mag net. Now this is an electric shocking net that is legal this year, isn't it?
Yes, there was some question about whether or not it would be legalized. The legislature passed a special bill to make it legal. It's a shocking device.
And they're saying that it's a conservation device where they can release a lot of the bigger fish. They don't injure them when they're hooked?
Well, it stuns the fish momentarily while they take the hooks out, and then you get it back in the water, and theoretically it'll swim away unharmed, and if they don't leave it out of the water too long.
Where is it going to be like a 3-tier type of fishing this year?
I believe so. The southern part of our state's been through the spawning season for quite a while. I think panfish will be on the nest. In the central part of the state, a tier through there, walleye should be hot. The Mille Lacs area, right through Brainerd area, should be hot. Maybe a week away from peak up in the northern part of the state.
You mentioned central Minnesota. I'm sure that's where Don Shelby will be fishing.
I think so. Central Minnesota has a lot of acreage, but you can holler central and it'll be okay.
All right, thank you much. Joe Alexander, of course, the opener Saturday. We'll see you there.
You're going to be on Big Sandy, RJ?
I'll be up there near McGregor, right.
Okay, I'll be on Secret Lake.
Secret Lake. Yeah. We'll find out where that is on Saturday.
Right. Stay with us now as the Wednesday 5 continues. We'll take a look at one of the newest releases out of Hollywood.
I'll tell you where that lake is later. It is a film combining the talents of two of the city's biggest names. We'll have the story up next.
Me?
Yes.
Let's go, Buck. Okay, suit yourself. Now that we're using Buctril herbicide, old Buck doesn't even check the corn anymore because Buctril gives us real good control of cuckleburr, velvet leaf, and other broadleaves. And with Buctril, there's no vapor drift, so it won't burn my beans. Speaking of vapors. Oh, I can't believe this.
When it comes to controlling broadleaf weeds in corn, nothing measures up to Buctril.
Come on, Buck, open the door, buddy. Come on. Oh, don't you lay down on me, buddy.
It has come to our attention that some of you are missing out on a great opportunity. You probably heard that there's something big going on at your Dodge dealer. You might even know a lot of people who are saving big on Dodge trucks right now. Well, you're missing the boat. So even though you probably know about our truck event so big it only comes once a year, we're offering this subtle reminder. Easy, boys.
Well, Ed, burgers are booming.
Have you seen this?
Arby's, beef and cheddar. Nothing to worry about.
These reports say otherwise. People stepping out of our burger lines to go to Arby's.
Because Arby's roast beef with cheddar cheese sauce is different.
Thing is, they're not coming back to burgers. They have a slogan, beef and cheddar's better.
Come on, Ed, it's still a burger world out there.
That may be, but it's a changing one.
The revolution continues. Taste the Arby's difference.
I think my feelings about severe weather have changed quite a bit since I have a family.
For Mary Fleming of St. Paul, the safety of her family comes first. That's why she depends on accurate weather information.
It should be straightforward in just a clear, matter-of-fact way.
So her choice is Mike Fairborn of Weather Center 4.
I think he has a very calm disposition, which is rather reassuring. I think that does set him apart.
Mike Fairborn at Weather Center 4, keeping you ahead of the storm.
Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I'd love to remain in bed.
Composer Irving Berlin turned 100 years old today, and in New York, a group of revelers showed up at his mansion to serenade him with some of his best-known songs. Night Skies, Putting on the Ritz. The Berlin didn't make an appearance at the window. A spokeswoman for the reclusive composer said he was just thrilled. New Yorkers weren't the only ones celebrating Berlin's birthday. At the Crystal Court at the IDS Center, a group of Minnesotans paid tribute to the Dean of American Popular Music with a noon-hour concert.
And children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow.
Ever since Star Wars, movie fans have awaited the next picture of George Lucas with anticipation.
And ever since Splash and Cocoon, Ron Howard's films have been warmly received. Well, 1 week from tonight, Twin Cityans have a chance to see their latest joint effort. It is called Willow. Entertainment reporter Bill Carlson tells us some of the problems encountered during a more than 2-year production schedule.
Action! This child is special.
Typical of the previous work of both executive producer and writer George Lucas and director Ron Howard, Willow is a film of great imagination, of expansive scope, of dazzling special effects, and of people of all sizes.
Your eyes, I have to kiss you.
The title character, Willow, is himself a small young man, but that's nothing compared to the band of 9-inch fighters he sometimes employs.
It's a kind of an eclectic, oddball group who also you probably wouldn't expect to turn out to be heroic figures, but, you know, they come through in the clutch.
But isn't it difficult to find actors to play such diminutive roles?
Well, you know, it's one of those incredible things. You never think that there are 9-inch people until you start asking around.
Now, things would have been all right if the tiny actors hadn't possessed such enormous egos.
Now, I want to complain about our accommodations, if I can right now. Will you look at this? Will you look at this? Thanks for chipping in for the Barbie Dream House, George. We're really thrilled with that.
I don't like to, you know, kind of air dirty laundry in public, but, I mean, the one guy was living in a maple syrup can. So, I mean, we thought that the Barbie doll house would work well for them.
In spite of the tiny, ill-tempered actors, things generally went well until it was time to come up with the billing.
We think it's our show? You haven't gotten it in neon, you haven't gotten it in black and white, that it is our show. It's our show.
It's far from being the Brownies movie.
I think if you read the script, better yet when you see the film, it's not an argument.
No, it's not the Brownies movie. It'd be called The Brownies if it was, wouldn't it? It's called Willow, so it's my movie.
All right, all right. Bill Carlson, WCCO Television News, with an entertainment update.
Willow opens up with a benefit premiere 1 week from tonight at the Cooper Theater.
I know if it's going to be a typical fishing opener or we have some typical weather for the fishing opener. But widely scattered showers over the state. That sounds typical. Breezy on Saturday. That sounds about right. And temperatures maybe a little bit above the normal, upper 70s maybe to the lower 80s. Add a little bit to that. Well, the flowers have responded just gorgeous to the weather, and we're about 1/3 of an inch above normal for precipitation and mostly sunny. That always brings out the flowers. Temperature 73 degrees, humidity 35%, winds from the west at 14, and pressure at 30 inches and falling. Mostly sunny at 73 degrees right now. A rather weak cool front moved through the area today. Earlier we had a few light showers at Mobridge and Aberdeen, South Dakota. Got a few showers around Worthington and the Rochester area, north of Eau Claire up to Grantsburg. So scattered showers over the state, but we're forecasting clear to partly cloudy in our metro area for tonight. Well, out state today, there was a bit of rain scattered around the area. To the west of us. In fact, there are some thunderstorms now on the Nebraska-Kansas border. Thunderstorm north of Tulsa, Oklahoma. A severe thunderstorm watch for the southern half of Texas for tonight until 9 o'clock tonight. Other showers were scattered in Florida and up to the northeast. Bridgeport, Connecticut with a ½ inch of rain earlier today. And the outlook for tomorrow: eastern Wisconsin, eastern Illinois, most of Michigan, northern Ohio, 1/4 to a ½ inch of rain. Some more rain in the northern part of Florida. Rain forecast for Sault Ste. Marie and Detroit. And northern California along the coast there, rain for tomorrow. That northwest corner was sunny today and warm. Pendleton, Oregon was 80 degrees. Thermal, California 104. McCook, Nebraska went to 82. Clouds and showers kept the temperature down to the low 70s at Midland, Texas. Panama City, Florida, that was another warm spot at 86. Asheville 72, and rain at Hartford and 65. Clear to partly cloudy is our forecast tonight. 48 for the overnight temperature minimum. Northwest winds at 5 to 15. Out toward the weekend, Thursday, partly sunny, a slight chance of showers, 75 at the high. We still have those northwest winds. And Friday, sunny to partly sunny, with the afternoon temperature at 70. So a little breezy on Saturday and widely scattered showers over the weekend.
Forecasting that walleye chop. That's what we need. Thank you very much, Bud. We'll be back with more news coming up on the 5 p.m. report.
There's a special feature coming your way from Domino's Pizza that'll ruin the Noid's day. Special savings on the silver screen. Maybe the biggest offer you've ever seen.
Catch this. Call Domino's Pizza and get an official Noid flyer for just 25 cents with the order of any piping hot pizza. But hurry, these Noid flyers are taking off fast. Call Domino's Pizza today.
Hurry, because this won't last forever. For savings like these, it may be now or never. Domino's Pizza delivers savings.
The Perkins Reuben Melt. The other guy's Reuben sandwich. Our Country Club Melt. Their Country Club sandwich. Our new Frisco Melt. Their new Frisco Melt. If you want a delicious melt, you can either come to a Perkins family restaurant and enjoy one of ours, or go somewhere else and enjoy one of theirs. And now, for a limited time, get our new Frisco melt, or any melt sandwich and a medium Coca-Cola for only $3.99. Only at Perkins.
Old Home listens to the people.
The people say Old Home cottage cheese tastes the best. Large people tell us it tastes the best. Medium-sized people tell us it tastes the best. Small people and very, very small people say Old Home tastes the best. That's how Old Home serves the people.
On May 9th, the Twins host the Milwaukee Brewers to a 3-game home series. As usual, expectations are high. Will we get to see lots of Homer Hankies? Do the Twins have to worry about Molitor and the Brewers going on a hitting streak? Catch it live on cable TV for only $7.95 a game. Call your local cable company for details. And watch the Twins slam the Brewers.
Tonight at 10 in our Teach Your Children series, we'll report on physical education in schools and how it is changing to meet the needs of many kids who are just plain out of shape at such a young age. Last night, though, we told you about a bigger problem with kids, teen suicide. Minnesota, in fact, tops the list in teen suicide across the nation.
Joining us now to talk more about the issue is Joyce Walker, a University of Minnesota professor who has devised a curriculum to help teachers and students identify kids in need of serious counseling. Thank you very much for being on the show. My kids between the ages of 8 and 11 were watching, and they're concerned. They want to know, why does Minnesota lead the nation in teen suicide? Is it something they should be frightened about?
Oh, I don't think it's something they should be frightened about, Donald, though it's all something we all have to take very, very seriously. I don't know whether we have better reporting in Minnesota. We do seem to have a rise in suicides with 15 to 19-year-old young people. But what we're most concerned about is getting kids to recognize when their friends are in trouble so that they can help, they can do some alerting, to get parents to take seriously and pay attention to the fact that kids are hurting. Loss and conflict issues seem to really be the big ones. And I don't know that we have more loss, death, or separation.
How about the fear of failure? Because we also hear one great statistic about Minnesota, and that is we lead the nation in graduation rates. We lead the nation in kids going on to college. That sounds to me that underneath that statistic is a lot of pressure to succeed.
Well, there is a lot of pressure to succeed. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And in fact, it is when kids lose that moment of feeling like they have succeeded, maybe had a humiliation or a loss or a failure that an adult looks at and thinks, oh, gee, you'll bounce right back from that. But it's very serious.
And kids listen, I should not say kids, young people listen to young people. They take peer counseling a little bit better than they do from parents and from grown-ups, don't they?
Well, it's easier to share, and an awful lot of kids will say when they have some kind of a loss, they don't want to disappoint parents. And so it's easy to turn to your friends because they don't express the same kind of disappointment, the same kind of a worry about you as a parent does.
Is this a subject matter we should do more about?
Oh, I think it is a subject matter we should do more about. And very central to it is talking. I mean, being able to say the words when you're afraid, when you have a concern, when you want help.
Being able to communicate.
Yeah.
Oh, so important.
Thank you very much for being with us today. Keep up
Thanks
the work.
so much. And we're going to be back with more of the Wednesday 5 in just a moment. We want to check the time for you right now. It is 27 minutes after the hour.
There are a lot of great places in the Twin Cities. But there's only one place you'll find Orion gas-powered grass trimmer, just $84. Ladies' crop tops for summer at $4 each. Tubular hangers in assorted colors, only $1. And Purex bleach, sale priced at $4 for $3. You'll find it all at Kmart, the saving place.
Every Marvin window is crafted by hand to ensure it fits exactly the way you want it to. Because at Marvin, we believe a beautiful wood window can add more than light to a room. It can add life.
See Marvin Windows at Window Warehouse, Walker Lumber, and Home Harned Lumber.
I've had enough of eating burgers. I've had enough of every kind. Of burgers big and burgers small, it doesn't matter what they're called. I've had enough. I want to change. I've had enough of eating burgers.
Had enough? Try Arby's lean, slow-roasted roast beef. The revolution has begun. Taste the Arby's difference.
Cordless phones are a product of the 80s, and now they are available at budget prices. But do they deliver quality? Find out tonight on the 10 p.m. Report, Channel 4.
Phi-Ed. Today's classes have a whole new look. The uniforms are gone, classes are co-ed, and the sports are sometimes untraditional. This is Channel 4's Cindy Hilger. Tonight, I'll examine how educators have responded to the growing concern that our children aren't as physically fit as they should be. There's a new emphasis on personal fitness, and special classes now offer things like aerobics and weight training. Phi-Ed, part of our Teach Your Children series, tonight on the 10 p.m. Report.
Minneapolis College of Art and Design students capped off their first year of study today with an unusual event. It was the third annual gravity races in the parking ramp on the corner of 3rd Avenue South and 25th Street. The students built some fairly strange vehicles powered by gravity. The results were inventive, if not outlandish. In fact, the gravity races today were billed as the place where the outlaws of art meet the laws of physics.
Dave Moore is here with what's coming up at 6.
Just enough time to offer a brief look at one of the items coming on the 6 p.m. report.
Have a heart, Mr. President. Sign the bill. I'm Skip Loescher in Washington. That was the appeal on Capitol Hill today from several Minnesotans who have lost their jobs with virtually no notice as the 2,000-page trade bill was signed and sent to the president. We'll have a report at 6.